Ryan Schofield. I am coming live. I guess we can say I'm on location right now. I am in downtown San Francisco, I guess you would say, or I'm at the pier or port of San Francisco, something like that. I'm about to go on a big giant Ferris wheel called the Skystar here, right by on the bay, which is going to be an interesting experience. I'm kind of, be first to admit this, a little bit afraid of heights. I've had some freak out moments. I've been to the top of the stratosphere in Vegas, and that was a pretty entertaining experience for everyone involved that I was with because I had a giant panic attack. Could it have been all the drugs that I consumed the night before? Could it have been the drugs I consumed that day? We do not know, but we're going to get some lovely, lovely footage here. And I probably should be watching this, but I feel like the video is even just a little bit better. I'll get a chance to look at this, but I'm also trying to do my best not to look down. Oh my God, San Francisco, maybe it doesn't get the greatest rep in the news as somebody who lives on the East Coast. This is by far the most beautiful city I have ever been in. Like, I'm not really one of those like, oh my God, admire the views and holy shit, I'm getting up there. And we got the Golden Gate Bridge. We got Alcatraz behind me. I mean, we got this beautiful, beautiful skyline behind me over there. And I mean, it's just picturesque. I mean, every time I get to the top of a street, which I just basically left my hotel and just started wandering around and just like, okay, let's go to the top of that hill and see what kind of view you can get. And absolutely, I've taken so many pictures. Being homeless here, which you hear all the kinds of stuff about the homeless. I mean, I'm probably in the good part of town, so I haven't seen as much of that. I haven't been near the Tenderloin, which I understand is the bad region. But it's I can think of worse places to be homeless. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, no, San Fran is absolutely. I mean, I'm a pretty wound tight guy. Ever since I've gotten off the fucking BART station, I've been one of the most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life. And I mean, I also will say I did just smoke at a tremendous joint, which so far California is doing the weed thing pretty well. Again, I live in New York State, which is absolutely god awful for weed. I've got a 30% THC, which is I'm looking at myself, I can see it hitting me even worse. Had this nice little sativa joint that I hit, which just walking around weather-wise, absolutely perfect. If you get hot, well, it's not too hard to find a hill and some shade in these parts of town. Would I want to live here, though? I don't know if I would want to live here. I definitely would not want to drive here. First thing I've noticed is I already don't like the idea of having to drive standard. I can't imagine what a sick fuck you have to be to drive standard in San Francisco with these hills, or just the parking situation and the hill situation seems a bit off for sure. Wow, that fucking bridge, that would be such a fun walk, I think, at some point. Yeah, we're just going to keep kind of touring around here and just giving you a little glimpse of it. But, I'm not going to lie, I had a bacon, egg, and cheese. It's the only food I had here. I got off the train station. I was like, all right, let me get a coffee. And I got a bacon, egg, and cheese, which was like $17. I guess I'm in California. Everything's expensive. The first time I thought something was more expensive than New York, though, when I traveled. Not a bad bacon, egg, and cheese. Apparently, that's a pretty universally, it's one of those things that's tough to fuck up. Going to have to, where I'm at down the port here, if you like the smell of fried fish, just absolutely fucking amazing for sure. I've had a few people that, I'm wearing St. Louis Cardinals stuff, San Francisco Giants, and, big draw in town. That's where I'm going to be tonight, which I'll, again, probably be posting some shorts from the game at some point today. So, follow, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I'll be kind of vlogging this whole ordeal, I guess. Yeah, no, I had a UPS driver or a FedEx driver, I forget which one, yelling at me, St. Louis sucks, which I just nodded in agreement with him and he laughed. And then I talked to some other gentlemen, which I have to tone down. I realize I use the word hate kind of freely, especially in the terms of sports. I don't necessarily, well, I probably use it in every aspect of my life. But in terms of sports, yeah, I said hate, and then all of a sudden half my fucking people went away, which, speaking of hate, I will say one of my favorite little observations I had so far in San Francisco, getting off the plane, I'm walking in the Harvey Milk Terminal, and they have the Bay Area Hall of Fame. Must say it's a pretty random cast of characters in there, like Matt Cain. I guess I'm not from here, never been out here, so I don't know how Giants fans must have really liked him. I would have been more of a Tim Lincecum guy, but where I thought this was ironic was that Tim Hardaway is in the Bay Area Hall of Fame, which, Tim Hardaway, famous for saying he hates a certain group of people. San Francisco, potentially famous Where are you? What's that? Vincent? MY is Vincent. You need to join me. Join me where? Join me on the Scho-Zone. You wanna go live with me at some point? I got time later. I'll be killing time in my hotel room because this is the thing. I'm going to be on the West Coast. So when I get out of the game that I'm going to, sports are done for the day, which I plan on discussing with somebody on an episode next week, a resident of California, because we kind of go back and forth on Twitter about whether or not we think it's better to live in the East Coast or the West Coast as a sports fan. This is my first experience of, aside from being in Vegas, which that doesn't count because there's no clocks in Vegas, as far as what I think of this. Tomorrow the NFL season opens up, and I'm going to be watching the game at 5:30. I'm going to a baseball game and then have to get home in time to watch a football game. But yeah, I had somebody I was talking to asked me if I was going to the Giants game, and kind of funny. I did my best to stay nice. Someone that did not look like me. I'll just say definitely not sure if he was from here or not, but he asked me if I was a Giants fan. Yeah, huge Giants fan. Absolutely. That's why I wore my Cardinal stuff into San Francisco. I'm not going to wear any of the. I'll wear the hat to the game. I actually plan on, the weather here. You got versatility in wardrobes. I've seen people dressed in all kinds of. Okay, some guys yelling. I think that the ride's coming to an end. So I paid $18 to spin around a wheel like 4 or 5 times and broadcast live for like 6.5 minutes to get my picture taken. So I'll be back later on. Thank you for joining, and subscribe, like, and share all that good stuff.